TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. I thought we already are, but okay. Okay. Whoa! I didn't click anything! Calm now, RG. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I ever seen. Chief Guns! What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be the risk the judge was talking about. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh, so that's what it was. Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? So then, what's your excuse, Bridal? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves you knocked over Neil Marshall causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt? Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as a murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Can I really show it? Okay. Let's see. The piece of cloth has. If you don't want to finger her as a murderer, so choose cannot show it. Choosing otherwise and presenting the cloth will lead to an automatic game over. Okay. Cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Gunt, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why did you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gunt? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See that victim's vest? Anything odd about that chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut off for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That makes you the chief of police, concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of police department. Impressive. To be honest, I need to think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? Really? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. Well, you insisted, Miss Sky. I told her to rearrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dodd convicted. When we arranged the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Who do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Ha. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Rhino, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gunn, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. That's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Rhino. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. What do I show? Why? So? Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered the prosecutor marshal. And we have to show it? Alrighty then. Take that! Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of victim's vest. Oh, yes. At last, you finally brought it out into the open. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must be a strong impact to... You mean... It cannot have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ha ha ha! You're as slow on the uptake as error-worthy. What? Think about it. Rhino had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? Yo man, you already know. You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person whom these fingerprints belong to are, and then we actually show it was her. Alright. Take that! Emma! What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh! You're really something, Rhino. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still try to pin the murder on me. So it's true, tragic but true. This girl really did show Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Guy! You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Guy, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gunn, you are absolutely right. These pieces of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Ernest Croy, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. The piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gunn, you tyrannical brain ants here. Behold! The piece of evidence contradicts this cloth! I got nothing! The piece of evidence that contradicts the cloth. I got nothing! I seriously got nothing. What am I supposed to present? I got nothing. More likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on a fleshy wax floor, getting wax all over their head. Well, that would account for the amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though. So you know, I always slip on the floors at school after the wax. That did not make sense. I got nothing that contradicts that. I don't know what I'm supposed to look for, even though I'm just wasting time. What am I supposed to use? Behold, a piece of evidence that contradicts the cloth. Hello? Nah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Can't be. Could it? However, if things find the contradict the cloth, you should try it. When asked, shall present the picture. Okay, explain to me. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Guy took. Take a good look at it. It's round? See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, the shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gunn, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could have it been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Guy? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword. That to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death. Said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then he broke the jar on purpose to lay behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out the bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finished. Objection! That was close, Ryder. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order! Order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Udgy? Earlier, all right here concealed that piece of evidence cloth. So then, what? Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present this evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ha ha ha! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the— oh, so that's what it was. That's the last slap on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gunn's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Huh? Well, Mr. Wright? It seemed at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and legally concealed this piece of cloth? I did not. What am I doing? I did not. Certainly, I refused to present evidence at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't let him. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was non-violation of the law, then do so. Take that! This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of cloth evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. And here's the crux, I don't know, of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? So you want relevancy? Just take a look at this picture and— Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No! He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, partially approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who could that be. Damon Gant, the killer was you.